Well, hello, and welcome everybody. This is live at the Waterhole on this Wednesday afternoon. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for the show today. Now, I'm not actually sure what we're looking at this very moment in time. I assume something is there in the bushes. I'm going to try and spot it. But a very warm welcome to everyone who is joining us from all over the world. All right, so I'm not missing anything. There is nothing here. We are going to head over to Hyena Pad. Ah, beautiful. Some elephants. Now, remember, everyone, that this is a live and interactive show. So please do send through your comments and questions to me. I would love to hear from you. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from, maybe what snacks you have for today's show. I'm always impressed with some very interesting snacks that some of you have, or even drinks that you might enjoy throughout the show. And you can send those through to the Wild Earth website or the app. You can chat to us in the YouTube chat stream. Just remember to use @FC. Otherwise, you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag Wild Earth. Looks like the sun is shining up in Botswana. These elephants have come for a drink and a bit of a cool down. Imagine having a swim in that pool today. It would be quite something, wouldn't it? You can see some are resting in what shade is available from these very bare mopani trees, and I think in the next few weeks we're going to see lots and lots of leaves appearing. You can already see a hint of green around, but they do tend to get quite a lot of leaves throughout the summer and well into the early winter. I think some rain may have passed through the area. There's bits of clouds sort of around here. I'm not sure though. In the low fields at the moment we're having some scattered showers. There's some thunder in the distance. There's some big clouds outside, and every now and again there's a little downpour, and then the sun shines again. It's a very interesting weather, as it is in summertime. And what I love about often in the summer, you have these quite warm days, and then you can feel it building, and then it clouds over at about 4 p.m. to bring a thunder shower. Sort of relieves the day of its heat. Looks like they're heading off on a well-used game trail there now, this elephant bull. Rosie Adams and Darcy Miller, hello to both of you. Thanks for saying hi and joining us today. Joanne, yes, it does look very, very dry here, but it's just a matter of time. All these mopanis, I'm sure, get some lovely green leaves that are going to grow. You can actually see the sort of red bits on the ground are the fallen mopani leaves, I assume. Not much else would have made that. So yes, and those leaves are actually quite an important food source for many animals, from elephants, buffaloes, even things like kudus that rely on that for good browsing, even grazing, just nutrition really, in the winter time, as the leaves hold up to 30% still of their protein content, even once dried out. Look at this one on the left resting its foot on the side of the trough. I love that. Almost like it's striking a pose. Let's head over to Rosie's pan. Oh wow! Look at that! There's wild dogs, everybody. How awesome! That really is fantastic. I mean, we were looking at the spot early. Maybe it was so well camouflaged there, or maybe it actually did move and come and lie down. I'm going to go with that because, you know. But it just shows how well camouflaged if their heads are down and you don't see those ears. But how awesome. Like I say, in the low-fall today, we've got sort of these scattered thunder showers. So when it clouds over, it's actually quite cool until the sun comes up and heats up. So in terms of predators and even things like wild dogs, it means that they're not going to just be flat for the whole day like they often are. But moving around, maybe coming to the water for a drink is always a possibility. But how cool. It's, I think, definitely my first wild dogs live for me here at Rosie's Pan. Last year, we had them actually kill an impala at this location as well, which was madness. But this is so, so special. Now, to me, I can only see one, but with wild dogs, they are a pack animal. They can be seen one alone, but the others are not far off. I've seen a pack as small as 3. We actually see a pack of 3 quite often on Juma, which is one of the locations where we do our live safaris from in the afternoon and mornings. On Mabula, there's a pack, I think it is between 8 to 10. But yes, it can range from 3 dogs all the way to 20, even up to 30 dogs, and I think even bigger in some parts of Zimbabwe and Botswana. But this is so beautiful. They are endangered animals, and it's so important that we raise that awareness and appreciate them when we do see them. Catherine, indeed, it is Wild Dog Wednesday. That's a great one. Also known as painted wolves, due to their coats being so beautiful and looking as though they've been painted on with a sort of golden yellow color, black and then white in between. So 50, absolutely. I mean, what a way to start the show. We're not even 15 minutes in, and boom, wild dogs at Rosie's Pan. And right now, I mean, their prime hunting time is the first few hours of the dawn. beginning of the day and then into the evening, sort of once the sun is set, maybe just before, depending on the heat. And then sometimes all the way once it's dark, the sun is set and it's gotten dark, and then they'll find a place to settle for the evening. And the same routine for the morning, then they'll find a place to settle in the day. And depending on how quickly it gets hot, sometimes they're active quite late into the morning, and also how successful they are. They can hunt multiple things within the few hours that they are active for, and can kill multiple times, whether it's scrub hares to impalas, and especially coming into lambing season, I've seen them take down many baby impalas, which is not always pleasant to think about, but it is one of their, I think, their favorite times, because it's so easy for them to hunt them, and that always leads to a lot of excitement. And they'll rev each other up. They'll have this sort of sound that they make that is almost like a squealing, squeaking, chirping noise, which is always so special to hear and see that interaction. A lot of play between the members, a lot of allo grooming, a lot of licking and exchanging of bodily fluids, and that's all part of their bonding. And also part of the reason why wild dogs are so endangered is because if one gets a disease, it will spread like wildfire throughout the pack. They also cover extremely large distances with home ranges of up to 100 kilometers squared. So the chance of being snared or running into fence lines or anything like that is a lot larger, as well as, of course, other predators that would also attack them, like lions, for example. So there's lots, even hyenas, but hyenas and wild dogs have a very interesting relationship, actually. And it's one thing that until you see it, it's quite difficult to believe, I suppose. But often when we've had wild dog packs hunting, they'll be running around looking for potential kill, and there'll just be like 2, 3, maybe 4 hyenas trailing a few meters behind them, maybe 20 to 50 meters, if not more. And you'll just follow, waiting. The wild dogs will make a kill, and wild dogs, when they eat, they just sort of rip the prey alive. They don't really suffocate and kill like lions or leopards do, but they sort of just all go in, and it's not the most pleasant thing to watch, but that's what they do to get it down as quickly as possible. And hyenas will come in and then take the scraps, which is fascinating. Oh, there's something walking there. Oh, is that another dog? Yes, look at that. It's coming in probably to say hello. Oh, there's a third. So is that 3 now? Is that the tail moving of the other one? Anyway, we'll see. Maybe there'll be an interaction here. Like I say, that bonding so important. Might rub a head, might just find another spot. But this one is a lot lighter in color, a lot more golden. Oh, there's at least 3. There we go. 2 sort of lying, I think, bum to bum. And then the third one's just appeared now. How awesome is this? Oh, please come out into the open. That would be amazing. Yeah, maybe coming to get some water. You never know. I hope that we can follow that one that's moving. It might be coming towards the water. If my bearings are correct, and this is sort of beyond the waterhole. I'm very grateful we can zoom in so much though. That's fantastic. France, I have experienced them hunt in person actually multiple times. I've been very, very fortunate to have some incredible wild dog sightings. And as a guide or operator of the vehicle, when there are wild dogs around, you really got to have your wits about you. You've got to drive fast off-road as well, which is a challenge, and always you've got to be very, very careful to, of course, not damage the vehicle or the environment, but also be able to keep up with them because they move so quickly. Oh, there's the one on the right. It's just laid down under the tree. Thought it was maybe coming to the water, but it's actually laid down right nicely in the open, which is wonderful for us. Under a green tree there on the right, I can just see the silhouette. There it is there on the far right of the screen. The others are in a little bit of a thicker area. So yes, when it comes to hunting, it happens so quickly, and you sort of just have to try and position yourself anticipating their movement. That's really the best, and then you can see them do their thing. You can see how they pan out and just run, basically flushing the prey, and then one will make the kill and the others just come in and then they just rip it apart, which, yeah, like I say, it's something that you think it is amazing, but it also is like you do need a sensitivity warning before you witness something like that. I mean, especially in the lambing season when mother impala gets killed and she's actually still got the fetus inside of her belly. Leopards are the same in that time of year, so it can be a little bit gruesome, but it is part of these animals' lives and what they do and how they hunt. See, this one has stood up now. It might go and join its fellow pack mate. I'm not sure. Maybe it needs a bathroom break. There's so many possibilities. There we go. I think it actually is maybe following where the other one has led. Maybe the third one's going to join it as well. Oh, this is very cool. Great timing today. It's on the move again. And as beautiful as wild dogs are, you can see how that coloration is so perfect to camouflage them in these environments with these colors. Oh, there's another one behind that bush, just to the right of the one that we're looking at. I wonder if that's a fourth one. I think with wild dogs, they also hide, they like to split up, well, sort of spread out, let me say. definitely one directly behind it there. And I did see another one to the right, and there's one behind, so I would say at least 4. Oh, there's another one just above them I saw the tail flicking, so at least maybe 6. Oh, this pack is growing very quickly. But it just shows when they're lying flat down, it's very difficult to actually see. Also, of course, looking through the camera rather than with binoculars or something like that can also be tricky. But there are quite a few. I think that might be here. We'll wait to see if more get up and move. I just thought I saw there's the other one that's lying there. Okay, so definitely at least 4. I think I saw a 5th one underneath the other tree. This is just fantastic. Old Punkster, you want to know why they are endangered? So I did mention a few reasons that disease spreads very quickly between them, which just by the way that they socially interact. Another is because of their massive home ranges. They cover a lot of distance and can actually encounter quite a few things that can harm them, including breaking out of fences and the human-wildlife conflict side of things. And also the biggest and the most prominent threat to them is actually the loss of habitat. Wild dogs need an extremely large area in order to be successful. Like I say, one pack needs 100 kilometers squared. So if you think the Greater Kruger is one of the best places because it's nearly 3 million hectares, which is, I think, 30,000 square kilometers, if my maths is correct. So you've got a lot of space. That sorry, not 30,000, 3,000, I think. Yes, 3,000 square kilometers, and you can fit quite a lot of wild dogs in that area. And it's awesome to know that the Greater Kruger population is doing so well. And because of that, there's not many great wide spaces that are protected that these animals can exist in, and that is why they are also so endangered. Another reason is not only that they don't have enough, there's not enough big spaces left for them to exist in, but also in terms of the food chain, there's a lot of other stronger, bigger predators out there that can be a threat to them. And if the space is too small, things like lions will kill wild dogs, even leopards as well. I mean, it goes both ways, but in terms of conflicts and competition, that can also be a reason for them being endangered. Jive Bunny, absolutely. It's so wonderful to have them resting at this pan. I'm so happy today. This has been such a wonderful surprise. Jan, it's warm, but it's not hot. Like I say, with the overcast weather and the rain, it's about, let me check. So at the moment it's 26 degrees where I am. I think it would be quite similar where Rosie's pan, maybe a little bit warmer, maybe 28. But as the rain comes or the overcast, the clouds cloud over the sun, it does cool down. But I think why they're panting, Joanne, is more to do with digesting. So they would have hunted this morning, their bellies would be, I can't tell from this exact angle, but probably quite nice and full, and they are digesting that raw meat. and that fullness of the belly and the work of the body is putting pressure on the diaphragm, but also just their body's working quite hard to digest all that meat. But they could also be hot, absolutely. But it's not super duper hot today. And it's interesting to think what else could be around in terms of the pack. They would have potentially bred throughout the June-July period. That's when wild dogs den. And those pups, if they have survived, would still be with the pack and now sort of running with them. Definitely out of the den, almost fully grown actually, within a few months of being born. And sometimes the puppies all sort of sit together in a big clump under a tree while the adults spread out around. So who knows what might pop out. I still need to have my dream sighting of seeing wild dog puppies at a den that I have not seen yet. I have a feeling, there we go, one is up under the tree. So that was the other one. So there's at least 5. Oh, that one's digging. But who knows what else is under that clump of bushes or fallen over tree. Oh, and there's another one behind. There's another face just to the right there. Okay, so we've at least got 6 dogs here now. And I think what it did was actually digging out some sand to get a cooler spot, which is very clever. But how camouflaged is that? That is unbelievable. Arnold, I never want to say never, but I would say that there's just not enough power in the wild dog pack to take down a fully grown elephant bull. I definitely wouldn't put my money on it. Should that elephant be injured, maybe sick, something happens like that, but there's just not enough. Even if there's 40 wild dogs, the way that they don't all sort of jump on the animal at once, they also don't want to get injured, and a big elephant is just not worth the risk for them, I would say. I think there has been records maybe of younger elephants being taken by wild dog packs that reach that massive size. Definitely buffalo, definitely heard of that happening. I've actually seen footage in Zimbabwe, I think it was, of that happening. One's on the move again. So I think, honestly, the largest prey that a large pack of wild dogs would look at taking down is a buffalo. And I know that that has happened before. One of the most iconic features of a wild dog are those massive ears, Mickey Mouse ears, I like to call them. And it's all to do with that hearing that is so important for them, not only to do with hunting, but also for each other, to be able to pick up each other's calls. They have a very specific sound they make, almost sounds like a dove cooing, that they use to contact call one another, especially when they've been busy hunting and they get split up during a hunt. And we actually saw one when I was driving up from Crockbridge in the Kruger up to, we were heading back up to Auburn, and on the road when we entered the gate, we had the single wild dog going, which is what it sort of sounds like. And they actually point their head straight down onto the tar or the ground, and I think that has something to do with echoing, or the way that they're able to use their voices to create that sound, which is fascinating to see. It was the first time I'd seen them do it. I'd heard the noise in a distance before, but to see it happening live was really, really cool. And those ears are like giant radars that can pick up that sound. This one has such a beautiful white tail, doesn't it? It really stands out. It doesn't have too much white elsewhere on its body, just its legs. All right, we have another treat for you all. Let's head up to Oldonyo. Look who's here, everybody. I'm sure we'll head back to the wild dogs a little bit later, but I know there's been a lot of questions about One Ton, where he is, what's happening, and here is this magnificent bull that's become quite famous for the area, as well as a beautiful giraffe and some eland that have come to drink. Well, there's a real party at Oldonyo today. This is so beautiful. Hi, Mindy. You and I are thinking the same. Looks like the zebras also want to join the party. I do apologize, we lost the feed there, but that was wonderful to see. We've come back over to Tau, where there are some elephants leaving the waterhole and some wildebeest as well. Are those crocs? What are those? There were two crocs just to the. Were there two crocs there? It looks like they were. I don't know if they were fighting or just moving. Seemed like something interesting was happening over there. There's also some elephants here. As the water points become limited, so the animals become more concentrated. Oh, there's a little baby having a rest there. Little baby elephant. Yeah, I just want to check on these crocs, what was happening. I don't know. There was some splashing of sorts going on. There, okay, the one is in the water. There's at least two there, it looks like. No, at least, oh no, there's two. Just checking if there's something that died, if there's maybe a fish or something. Okay, it's calmed down a little bit now. I was trying to see if the thing on the left is another croc or... Oh. That's a warthog. It is a warthog. They've got to kill. Oh my word. That is so cool. That must have happened this morning. So it looks like three crocodiles? Two crocodiles. Oh, the warthog's on top of the one. Whoa. Just trying to figure out if the warthog's still alive. If it's actually still like moving. Or if it's the... There's definitely three crocs. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Oh, that one got a chunk. No, I do think the warthog is dead. It's the movement of the crocs that have created something happening here. So, oh my goodness, this is amazing. I do just want to warn any viewers that may be sensitive. I mean, we're not gonna, I don't think, see too much gore and guts, but it isn't always pleasant to see the way these crocs do their thing and sort of just break off big chunks and swallow them whole. Yeah, there goes another piece down the hatch. I don't know if this was on camera at all earlier as to how this actually happened, but I assume that one of these crocs grabbed a warthog that unsuspectingly came for a drink. And this is typical of how actually earlier we saw the one twisting around, which is typical for how they sort of break off pieces. They don't use their legs or feet or anything like that, but actually grab on with their mouth and then twist their body to sort of break off a piece of the carcass. Sure. I can't believe this. Yeah, I hear you, Sanjeev. It is one of those animals. Oof. Oh, that they just seem like cold-blooded killers, which is quite literally what they are. It's difficult to emotionally connect with a crocodile, I think is what you're referring to. I completely understand, but they have their place out here for sure. Very much an important apex predator. Oh man, it was a younger one. You can see how small those tusks were of that warthog. And there still looks like quite a lot of the carcass left, especially the head at least. And there's that twisting, rolling action that I was talking about. Sort of, if you can imagine, they holding on, for example, to the leg of the warthog, and then they twist around to sort of get that piece loose. This is absolutely insane. I mean, you hear of this happening, but you don't think it's going to happen during the show. Or, I mean, we know we didn't see the kill itself, but it was, I think, fairly recently. And this is a massive crocodile that we're looking at. The other two seem a lot smaller. And it's just fascinating to see this behavior, because we aren't able to see things like this and observe it very often at all. So to learn how the interaction between the crocs, the fact that 3 of them are eating from the same carcass, is that a normal thing? Would a croc usually chase off others? Maybe it's the young ones from this croc who's a female crocodile, and maybe these are her offspring. Who knows? I think this bigger croc is now actually holding the majority of the carcass in its jaws. I can just see some bits of hair sticking out, white hair, maybe the sort of white hair that comes out from the side of the warthog's face. I think the others are getting a bit impatient and want to have some more food. And this bigger croc's been holding on. Oh, there we go. That one got a nice chunk. It's been holding on to, I think that might be an ear. Anyway, it's definitely, oh, it's the warthog's tusk that I think was sticking out. Maybe they're going to have a tug of war. Mindy, I couldn't agree more with you how lucky we are to see this live. Technology is amazing. These cameras are amazing. And this is an absolute treat. Rosie, I'm not sure. I was just thinking earlier, I did mention perhaps this could be Mother Crocodile and two of her former young ones that have grown up and stuck around and survived. I could be completely wrong. These could be smaller crocs that have moved to this waterhole that are completely unrelated. It could be a big male croc. For me, it's impossible to tell just by looking at them. So yes, I have no idea, but this is definitely the larger crocodile who's dominating the scene, and the other two are trying to grab off little bits. There's not much aggression from the larger one, I must say. I think it knows that if it moves and tries to chase off the other ones, it could lose the kill altogether. And it's just really cool to actually see crocs doing more than just sunbathing or lying in the water. Actually seeing an insight into their lives and how this part of their life works. Oh, there we go. Some more action. I think that big one's trying to hold on. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's each croc for themselves. They've got to protect their share of the carcass. And in fact, probably, I mean, we don't know, but probably the big one killed and the other two came in to try and scavenge, but one of the younger ones could have killed it, and then the big ones come in to take it from them. Oh, there we go. It looks like quite a big chunk. Oh, it's going down. Is that the whole head? Oh my goodness. I think that's it. I think the carcass is done. If it just is swallowing the head there now. That is unbelievable. And as you can see, crocs don't chew. They don't have that ability. They break off chunks and they have to swallow whole. They can crash and make it easier for it to go down. Be interesting to see what those crocs do if they sort of stay hanging together Maybe there is more of the carcass. I don't know. It looked like that big one scoffed down the rest of it. Looks like there is something floating there. Let's head over to Juma. Well, that was an absolutely amazing sighting there at Tau. Wow, wow, wow. All seems to be calm again. with, I think, that carcass being finished off, and those crocs now just going back to their very non-active life after all of that. They're just going to sit and digest now. There's 3 Egyptian geese that look like they may be going for a swim, I'm not sure. And there's a very busy hardy-dar there as well. Oh, some ducks resting. Okay, all the animals are enjoying a little bit of cooler weather at the moment. Oh, looks like there's a squirrel that ran on the ground there, and this grass is so short now, it actually looks like it's been mowed. It's unbelievable. Always nice to have a scan around and just check if there's anything that may be in the trees. Alright, well, let's head over to Hyena Pan. Oh, always nice after all of that action to just come back to some therapy with the elephants. Nice and calm, familiar, nothing too dramatic. Fuzzy Dunlop, you say it was Warthog Wednesday for the crocodiles. Indeed, it was. Good day to have a warthog for lunch. Now it's interesting, if we look at the left, there's this massive bull elephant and a much younger individual. Actually looks like a young female, who, just by judging by the size of her mammary glands, has had a calf. And you can just see that size difference, how much bigger that big bull is in comparison to her. Okay, let's head back over to Rosie's and check in with the wild dogs. Oh, nice. Come for a drink. That is awesome. I was crossing fingers that this would happen. And yes, definitely big round bellies. Look at that. I think they had a fantastic meal this morning, whatever it may have been. And definitely the reason for their panting. A lot of food in those bellies to digest. Rosie, it's a very interesting question. You want to know if I think DNA will help to save some species. I don't think DNA alone would. I think there has to be, of course, technology and research is ever evolving and changing, and who knows if we'd be able to use DNA of even animals that have gone extinct in our lifetime, their blood and that sort of thing, to actually from stem cells create that animal again. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but at this very moment in time, I think DNA alone would not be enough. Would it help maybe to create help to injured or diseased animals, to help keep them alive, or create vaccines or whatever is needed to protect endangered animals and help their survival rate? Possibly. But it's an interesting one to look at the future of DNA research for animals and how that could potentially help their survival rate, and specifically with prevent endangered animals from becoming extinct. Oh, the one is still there under the tree as well, and they all dotted around here somewhere. And this pack of wild dogs would have what we refer to as an alpha pair, an alpha male and an alpha female. They will mate and breed, and the other members of the pack will help raise the little ones. And that's sort of how the hierarchical system works within wild dogs. And there's quite a strict structure in that. And sometimes there may be a beta pair that could possibly be allowed to breed if it's a really good season, or if the alpha allows it. But sometimes that beta pair, or others that may feel like they're being too suppressed, would actually then leave the pack and potentially start their own, meet up with other young individuals that have left their pack and find each other, and then start a new pack, which is also all part of why these animals are endangered, and why it is actually difficult for these animals to start new packs and grow in number. Well, it's wonderful to check in with the dogs. We might be back here a little bit later, but for now, let's head back over and check in with the crocs at Tau. This croc is on the move. How cool. Oh my goodness, I can't believe there's now one less warthog at Madikwe, and it's inside the bellies of these crocodiles. There's also a hammerkop and 3 banded plover there in the background. Just looked like that crocodile had a huge breath, a big inhale and exhale, maybe finding its spot for the rest of the day. Can see that body inhaling, exhaling there, and also in the process of starting to digest what's in its belly. I think it takes rather long for crocodiles to eventually break down what's in their stomachs. So with crocodiles, they'll have sort of two chambers in their stomach. The one area where they'll grind up whatever comes down the hatch, because like I said, they can't chew. And the second, which is actually the digestive and extremely high acidic stomach contents, which then can break down bones, even hooves of animals. And that, I think the whole process can take between 10 to 20 days, which, if not longer, depending on the size of the meal. Ellie's on by this, I'm just going to call it the weaver tree. All right, let's head over to Naledi. Oh, beautiful. A triogama. What a stunning reptile that is. Very, you can see that big sort of triangular head, distinctive of an agama. It looked like there was also a striped skink in the tree. Very, very different in head shape as well, particularly quite a, almost a cuter face, I would say, than an agama. And the males get those bright blue heads, especially now coming into summertime when they'll start breeding. Well, isn't that just... Oh, there's the skink. You just saw it move there. The black with the little stripes. What a magnificent agama this is. And what a beautiful, beautiful view. Let's head over to Juma. Oh, wow. I did see the squirrels running around the tree. It looks like a marula, and it's got a marula nut in its little claws that it is busy munching away on. I wonder if it's trying to... open it up. There are what we call marula nuts inside of the pip of the marula fruit. And speaking of marula fruit, it's almost time for those fruits to come about again. One of the favorite meals for elephants and myself, I must say. I do love a marula fruit. And what an awesome view. You know, it's something that actually out on drive we don't get to see a lot of, because squirrels are very skittish and they always move so quickly and run up a tree or into a hole. But because of the camera, it's not intimidating in any way, and we've got this perfect view of this little tree squirrel here now. And I suppose slowly but surely it's just eating away at that marula nut. Just like a seed of any fruit, it probably has some nutritional value in there. It does look like it's enjoying it, using its little teeth. Squirrel being a rodent, it would have those really big front teeth, top and bottom, that it's able to gnaw away at things with. Oh, Sanjeev, absolutely. It is so true that the small things are beautiful, especially on Live at the Waterhole. We actually get to focus a lot on some of the smaller things. Jive Bunny, absolutely. I mean, there's not much to be said about today's show other than wow. With wild dogs, crocs and a kill, elephants, and this little squirrel as well. The the triagama, which popped up so beautiful with those colors. It has been a fantastic show today. I do wonder if it'll eventually just swallow the whole thing if it wears it down enough. That would be quite something. But it's amazing how massive that nut seems in the paws of a squirrel. And they are really small to begin with, but it just shows how tiny these little squirrels are. Oh, sorry, you lost it. Enough of that. Where are you gonna go now? Let's head back over to Rosie's pan. This is a very dark individual, isn't it? I know the one that we saw at the water was quite light and golden in color. Sometimes they do get a bit of mud on themselves and that, which does make them look darker, but I think this is just one with more black in its coat than the others, especially on its belly there. Goodness. let's head over to Tao. Oh wow. A croc, does it still have something in its mouth? It's just hanging on to something there, it looks like. Those, I think, are the two smaller ones. I'm not sure exactly. Definitely looks like that one croc on the right is holding on to something. Maybe the last little bits of the carcass. Yeah, it's definitely holding on to something there. The other one is just resting in the water, but this has been the most remarkable sighting today. To see this behavior is really something special. Oh yeah, that is the whole, is that the head? I think that is still the head of the whole warthog. Oh my goodness. I thought actually the other one chomped that down, but it looks like the whole body was gone, and the head would probably be the most difficult thing to eventually swallow. Wow, it can move quickly when it needs to, hey? Look at that. Oh, elephant just behind there as well. You can see that, is it a tusk that's just sticking out of the mouth there? So basically it's got it behind the head. I think the ear's just that side. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, look at that. This is remarkable, everyone. Really incredible to see. Don't know what the plan is with the head. Maybe they let it sort of soften a bit. Maybe it just requires a lot of energy. It's already taken a lot from them to eat what they have. And now this one is just waiting to sort of get enough energy to try and crack that skull into smaller bits. Ray, absolutely. Crocs are one of the most opportunistic hunters and will definitely take whatever opportunity presents itself, just as I'm sure this warthog did for them. Well, now it's time to just enjoy that feeling of food in your belly, I think, for this croc anyway. It's amazing actually how yellow this croc is with the sun shining now. And just catching those scales, bringing out the more yellow parts of the croc. The other two are lying further to the left, and the one with the warthog skull still in its jaws. Actually, you seem to move closer to the other one, which was interesting because I thought maybe it had moved further away. Oh, there, the other one's actually come closer to it now. Maybe it's got its mouth on the other side of the head. That is so funny. They're literally both holding. The one I think's holding part of the spinal column, which is sort of the back of the head, and the other one sort of like claimed its portion of the head, and now they're just having a little, I don't know if it's a stare off or a bite off or just a rest to say, hey, I still want claim to this carcass. This is so fascinating. Thought there might be a tug of war. Looks like they both not going to give up. Oh, that one's trying to twist it. Oh my goodness. This is incredible to witness. Here we go again. Other one coming forward. The anticipation is so high. It's amazing. You just don't know what's going to happen next. It's like they sort of gather their strength and then decide. I mean, this one that's on the left is definitely still wanting a piece of what the other one has. But you don't see the other one really snapping at the other crocodile, more just at this warthog head that it's wanting to just keep its mouth on. You know, if I think of two lions, the one would be snarling and hissing at the other one, maybe getting their claws or teeth stuck into each other a little bit. You don't hear that sort of behavior or see that behavior with crocodiles. I think this one's really hoping that the other one will just let go. But the other one is not budging whatsoever. And just look at those teeth. They are so menacing. There we go. Twisting again. Trying to twist it out of the jaws of the other. Maybe trying to twist off a piece for itself. And those teeth will actually grow back just like shark's teeth. They are replaceable. And apparently anywhere from 68 to 72 teeth in their mouth, sharp ones. Oof, it's a lot. Well, this has really been a one-of-a-kind show today. The combination of highlights we've had. France, you say thank you so much for a wonderful show. Lots of highlights, without a doubt. This being the most remarkable one, though. I mean, the wild dogs were special enough just to have that alive for you all. But this sighting has been marvelous. Just to see the crocs in their sort of natural habitat, obviously, but also this interaction between them, the way that they ate that carcass down so quickly, and to see these two now and the interaction between them as well has been fascinating. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been wonderful having you all on board for a really remarkable show, not one that I will forget anytime soon. And yes, of course, we will be back tomorrow with Live at the Waterhole. Same time, same place. I will be back with you as well. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And thank you for your comments and questions today. There was lots to chat about and lots of amazing things to see. Let's hope it continues tomorrow as well. I do wish you all a pleasant day or evening ahead, depending where you are in the world. So from me and the team, it's goodbye for now.